All right, the audio should be working now. Perfect. Welcome to the live Power Up morning call, which isn't the morning, it's the evening time for me. As you can tell, we are back in home base, back in the place where it all started and where it's going to continue. The Power Up call continues. The times might change, there might be a different backdrop every so often, but the one thing that will remain will be the fact that we are gathering together. You are coming here from wherever you are across the world. You're sitting down. Maybe you're in the gym. Maybe you're at work. Maybe you've paused your prospecting, just tune in for a few moments and remember that you are not alone. Remember that there are tens of thousands of other students alongside you working just as diligently as you are to build their financial freedom and to build a future for themselves, to learn these magnificent skills that enhance your life, make it to where you can earn money from basically thin air and reach out and create new, wonderful, rewarding business relationships from thin air and bring massive value to your life. You're not alone. There's lots of other people doing it. And I am happy to join with you guys today and share some thoughts, share some stories. The time was a little bit different. It's significantly later than normal. Many of you will probably catch this as a replay, but I am happy to take the time to share a powerful lesson with you, something that has helped me in my life, something that has helped me in my path that I feel will be very helpful for you in yours. Now, I titled this one Storytime because all I'm going to do is share a tiny story, and I'll give a brief interpretation of it afterwards. So many years ago, I joined the Army because I was looking for a brotherhood. It was the best option I had at the time. I was looking for a brotherhood of serious men who were working hard, who were training, and who believed in something bigger than themselves. It's something I've always searched for. That search did not end with the Army. One moment. Hey, let's go downstairs. One moment. It's fun when you come home. I am back. Obviously, every so often my sons like to step in, and it's good to see them as well because I haven't seen them for some time. So it's good to spend some time with them. They are eager to spend as much time as they possibly can with their father. So let's get back to the story. So I was searching for brotherhood, joined the military. Like I said, that wasn't the first thing I'd done to try and find out. It wasn't the last by far, but the last did come at some point. However, when you join the military, you go through basic training, which is, well, right now it's not that bad. Now it's pretty much a walk in the park. It's pretty easy. You have your cell phone the whole time. They can't really swear at you. It's a nice, wonderful, cozy experience. Back, almost, yeah, almost a decade ago when I went through, it was a significantly harsher experience, right? Which is wonderful. To me, it didn't even seem that bad, right? I went, I thought it was going to be really, really difficult. Turns out it wasn't that difficult. Turns out the standards that I thought were there were nearly as stringent as I thought they were. Turns out the brotherhood I was looking for wasn't there. But I learned a few important lessons, and I'm going to tell you a story of when I learned a really powerful one. So after you complete the basic training part of it, you get ready for graduation. So you spend the last week, you're working out, you're cleaning your rifle, and in the evening times you practice the graduation ceremony, right? So you're going to sit in an auditorium. You practice sitting at attention, which is you sit completely still and you face forward, not paying attention to anything around you, just facing dead on, straight ahead. You get up when it's your turn. You make your steps. You go up to the front. You shout your name in the correct way. Like you rehearse this over and over and over again. And you're dog tired. You're sleeping about 3 hours a night, training hard in the morning, and then you just sit there cleaning a rifle. And then you clean the next rifle and the next rifle for hours and hours on end. So you're completely tired, completely drained by the end of it. And then you go into a nice, cool building. You sit there, and it's quiet. and you're not doing anything, and you want to fall asleep so bad. Your eyelids get so heavy, right? Now, the drill sergeants know this. They do this over and over again on repeat, right? As soon as one graduation group leaves, they do start with a brand new one right away, right? So they're prowling, looking for people who are falling asleep, and then they smoke them, right? Which is what we called like the punishment side of where you go on the back, you do push-ups until you throw up, basically, and then you come back down, right? So there's a pretty high incentive to not fall asleep, but you're so tired. It feels so good. Um, and I remember when I was sitting there, I would I would feel my eyelids start to drop, and I would try and think of different things. I would try, but the more I would think of different things, the more my eyelids seemed to drop. It was crazy difficult, right? And I never got smoked because about 30 minutes into my first rehearsal session, I discovered a secret, a new cool tactic that I could use to stay awake on command. It was really cool. So I discovered that if I screamed as loud as I possibly could in my mind, right? Completely silently, if I screamed as loud as I possibly could, it was like as much rage and anger as I could summon, it would flood my system and I could stay awake, right? And I would be able to stay awake for another 30, 40 seconds, maybe divert my mind with something else, maybe, be able to like maybe get away with shifting my shoulders just a tiny bit to like circulate a little bit of energy until I had to do it again. And I would scream at the top of my lungs. And by that point, there was something else I could stand up and do for the next part of the rehearsal, right? I thought that was really interesting. And I've gone back and used that every so often. But it was interesting that tapping into my anger gave me a significant amount of energy. Now, it wasn't dangerous anger. I wasn't a threat to anyone. I wasn't a threat to myself. I didn't direct my anger at anyone, really. It was just a burst of anger, a burst of energy that filled me with more energy and allowed me to push forward through something very difficult. Now, I've remembered that throughout the rest of my life. Now, after that, I've encountered many difficult and tedious things. Prospecting was one of them, right? Prospecting is difficult and it's tedious. Learning some of the more complicated aspects of copywriting can become tedious. But I remembered that. And every so often, whenever I'd come across a point where things got either boring or difficult or tedious, or I didn't think I could quite make it, I remembered that lesson and I would scream as loud as I possibly could inside of my mind. I would summon anger. And this time I would direct it, right? It wasn't directed at a person, but it was directed at my situation. It was directed at where I was. I would force that anger out into the universe, and it gave me the energy I needed to push forward. Eventually, I discovered a guy who was really good at this, and I'm going to try to take it even to the next level. But for those of you who are first starting out in this copywriting journey, you can use the same lesson. You can use the same principle, right? Anger is just energy, right? You can summon that energy on demand, and then you can direct it forward to push yourself forward to help you achieve difficult things. Copywriting is full of difficult challenges. If you are able to summon or create anger and then divert it towards positive actions, you will very quickly burst through all the difficulties and find yourself making a lot of money very quickly. Now, that's the story, and that's the lesson. So use this information as you face tiredness, as you face difficulty, find a way to tap into your anger and use it, and you'll make a lot of money. This is a good call. We'll probably do tomorrow's call at a similar time for me is the evening at this particular location where I'm at. And we will continue to do the calls. Eventually we'll switch back over. Definitely by Monday, we'll switch back over to the normal 9:00, or I guess, what is it? No, it's not 9:00 in this time zone. It's 11:00 in this time zone. 11 a.m. time zone. So with that being said, I will talk with you guys tomorrow, roughly 24 hours from now. It's been a good call. I wish you all the best. Let's take this, let's get angry and use it to make a lot of money. Take care.